Hey guys, welcome back to 1080 Avalanche. Joining me this time is Blank Tester and a brand new guest. It's the Rat.
The Rat. He's a friend of ours from of many years. He lives in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah, he's hailing all the way from Africa, so we're really bridging boundaries here.
Okay, how's it going, Rat?
It is going pretty well, guys.
So Rat and I are both sort of completely unfamiliar with this game, so we're gonna try to learn as we go.
And by sort of, it's completely.
Yeah, feel free to ask questions, Rat.
Oh, no problem.
But I think this is probably gonna be.
Well, I'll just quick explain for you guys. In the first video, I went through the first set of courses. Those were 3 courses and then a special, little like survival event. This time it's the hard set, so it's 4 races and then a special like survival race.
Okay.
So 4 races down the mountain and then 1 race where you're trying to outrun an avalanche because it's 1080 Avalanche.
Of course. How's the tricking system in this game?
Tricking's kind of basic. Tricking is less about getting points and more about filling up your power bar.
Okay.
If you remember Splashdown, you remember doing tricks and doing well just kind of gives you an increase in top speed.
Rat, you were saying something.
That's it. I was just going to say that they are really great at naming stuff.
What do you mean?
You outrun an avalanche in 1080 Avalanche. It kind of ruins the whole game for me.
The whole game?
Really?
You're like, can't do it.
I can't do it. I mean, if you tell me what's going to happen in the title, I'm out.
Because some people go in or pick up the game and then they're like, you better give me avalanches or I'm out of here.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about this with Blackout. There's sometimes people complain about titles because they seem misleading, and what I found interesting was we were talking about what was it, fan fictions or whatever, and people on the forums, the fan fiction forums, which we don't participate in but we read. These people were talking about how like titles like To Kill a Mockingbird they're misleading, and I'm like, how the fuck is To Kill a Mockingbird misleading? I mean, it's metaphorical, but it's not like you thought the book was about hunting. Like,
I don't know. Maybe they actually thought the whole book was about hunting down mockingbirds.
I guess. So we started coming up with better titles for things.
Yeah.
Like Lawyer Mans. That's what To Kill a Mockingbird is.
Lawyer Mans, Catch-22. What the hell is Catch-22? It should be called Shit's Fucked, yo.
Yeah, Shit's Fucked, yo.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, what else we got? Ulysses was about it was just a dude and a kid take a shit. Like that's the story. I kind of like that your person's sort of see-through. It makes me feel like you're playing a ghost.
Yeah, but I really think the game should move the camera back at some point. Now I am using the medium camera, so I could actually be closer, and I could be further away. But it's like
you can get closer than that.
Every time you get a sense of speed, to where your character has to be like see-through the whole time, or you couldn't see anything. But it's like, please back the camera up. I can't see anything.
I can see that for tricks. Like if you're doing a stunt or something, they could pull the camera back. But I don't know, as far as just going down the hill.
Well, I mean, what about like trees and stuff? Like if you're going downhill and the camera's kind of angled so you can see that it's downhill, it doesn't look like it's flat. Then the trees would be kind of hidden by the fact that your character is like covering up a big section of the screen.
That's true.
I mean, unless the tree is like really big.
I also kind of want to mention the soundtrack again, because it's one of the 2 Boy Sets Fire songs in the game. If you remember, this is where I originally heard of them.
Yeah.
And, the games like this, like 2003, 2004, they all came out, like, right before iTunes and Bandcamp, or at least before iTunes got really popular.
Right.
Right on the waning edge of where you didn't really have a good way of online distribution. And so there's a lot of bands, like, they heavily advertise this one band called, I think, Cauterize.
Yeah.
In this game, and like if you remember Dry Cell, the guys who wrote theme song almost for like freestyle, and you know, a lot of bands like that where you never heard of them again after this, and they just died somewhere in the woodwork.
That's really sad, actually.
Yeah. I mean,
that just disappear like that.
Not a lot of bands really made out of the period, and you have kind of like Wikipedia links that show like one paragraph and nothing else.
Yeah.
But that's another, 1 minute race, and I want you to go back and see that opponent probably wasn't 3 seconds behind me. He was probably more like 15 seconds behind me. I don't know. I wouldn't say there's rubber banding, because sometimes the AI is perfectly fine with letting a racer finish 10 seconds after I get to the end. And sometimes he just teleports. Like, as soon as I finish. But, so yeah, 1080 Avalanche, really short races. Like,
yeah, it seems like it.
We're 6 minutes in, and that's with loading screens, and that's with loading up the match at the beginning. And we're 3 races in.
That's really fast.
And, this was probably a full price game when it came out. I didn't own a GameCube. But this feels like the exact type of game that would be $15 on Nintendo's like online marketplace.
Or like the Xbox Live Marketplace.
Yeah, Live Arcade, PSN Network, I guess.
You know what? Looking at it, you know what this kind of reminds me of in a weird way? It kind of reminds me of... It kind of makes me think about, like, Mario Party, actually. Like, Mario Party mini-games. You could have a mini-game, where you're snowboarding or something. And it was just like this really quick race down a mountain with I don't know, maybe not random track, but, like, something like that. Like, 4 players are just thrown into a really short thing. And I don't know, like, these are about... Each race is about the length of a Mario Party mini game, I think.
I mean, this really does feel like what a $15 online, marketplace game would be today. I mean, it's got, 12 or so racetracks that are, 1 minute to 2 minutes long, and they've got, some of them have, like, sort of copy and pasted sections from another, and there's different kind of, I guess, themes. There's that city night area that'll have like 2 or 3 tracks. You might have seen like Easy Life or Angel Light, or them kind of named like that.
Okay.
5 characters and some tricks, but it really seems like a $15, like what a $15 game would be today.
What are your thoughts, Rat?
I agree with Connor. I mean, I wouldn't pay $15 for this by the looks of it. Personally, if I'm buying a sports game like this, I kind of want longer races. Like, I like minute and 2 minute races, but if I'm in it, I'm usually, like the 5 minute outrageously long downhill slope sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel that.
That, and I haven't really seen that many, like side paths. Like, this seems just pretty straightforward, just follow this one path. Like in some other games, there are, side paths you can take that cut out half the race, or... they have their own special challenges on them, but like here, just looking at this mini-map, I'm seeing it's just one line that goes all the way through.
Yeah, there's like one spot where it kind of widens out, and then it immediately gets back thin again, so...
Yeah. And even when it, just back there, it got really wide, but I didn't see any obstacles besides one rock in the middle. So, there's like really no challenge when it opens up.
It was like the opening up of it was just to make room for the rock.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess this is kind of a side... area.
Yeah, but and these racetracks are only for racing. There aren't any other events except the races, or rather, there is like 1 or 2 tricking events on their own special like ski jump type tracks. So yeah, I could see if they like kind of redid this and threw in like you can play as your Wii character or avatar or something. I mean, I see this as a game that would do something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe it could get a good second chance, because it kind of came out, and then people were like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Who developed this game again?
This is actually... I touched about this in the first video, but it's like Nintendo Laboratories or something. Like,
really?
Some publisher created, like...
In-house,
solely for exclusive games. They made a lot of, like, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, or, like, Wario games.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well... The graphics don't look that bad, actually.
Yeah,
I'm kind of surprised. Because, the GameCube had those smaller discs, which meant that, like, games like Resident Evil 4, where on PlayStation 2 was on one disc, I think it was on one disc. It would surprise me if it wasn't. On GameCube, they were on two. And, the graphics on Resident Evil 4 actually held up fairly well with the two-disc thing, but this game, and other GameCube games were kind of graphically.
Yeah, I mean, good graphics, and there's a lot of songs on the soundtrack. Like, every race, I mentioned this in the first video, but every race you go through has its own unique song.
That's
you can
pretty
pick,
cool.
Like, if you played this hard mode match over again, the same songs would have loaded up for those same races. Now, you could have picked any song for the race, but by default, those songs would have loaded up and would have been the only time they would have, loaded up.
Was that a password?
Yes. In case you wanted to play the Avalanche event over again, because you can't select those for, like, time trial. You could only select the actual races. So, 1080 Avalanche, this is the second video. First video was 9.5 minutes long. This is 11.5 minutes, because we got one more race in. And in the next video, we'll get one more race in. And the credits.
That's it? That's the whole game?
You unlock a special 4th difficulty after that, but
who gives a fuck?
Well, they also mirror the courses.
Shit!
That's 1080 Avalanche. It's going to be a short series.
Well, I didn't know it was going to be short. I thought it was going to be a full game. It's not a full game. It's just a half.
I feel kind of gypped.
I feel really gypped, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Give me my precious LP money back.
Jeez.
You snob.
Yeah. All right,
I'll
see you all later when we take on the expert match.